Yeah, I thought this was really good for us. Obviously, they're a very successful program, and they came in here playing really hard and really confident. And I thought the first half it showed that they had played yesterday, and I thought the second half it showed that they had played yesterday. The first half we had some disruptions, some nerves, didn't really do the things that we had been practicing, and then I thought we kind of got out of that in the second half and were able to get into we got some stops so we could get some pace and some tempo, and did some things defensively that we didn't do in the first half. But credit to Daemen. I mean, that's a good basketball team, and obviously that's why we like to go against them. They're very well coached, they're very tough, talented players who are used to winning.
I want to ask about what you possibly said during that halftime talk, because in that first half you were getting beat in the paint, which is one of the things that you guys wanted to focus on in the offseason, shoring that area up. After halftime, the second half, it seemed as solved some things. I want to get your perspective on what you saw.
Yeah, I'm more worried about whatever I said before the game, right? Because that screwed up the first half. So, we just talked about we were really defending as individuals. We weren't team defending and getting to the ball and being aware of where the ball was. I mean, the last two plays before a half, we literally watched someone go for a layup where one more step and being where we would have taken those away. So, it's something we hadn't seen, but that's why it's good to play against other teams. They're going to read some things, and I thought they read some things we were doing offensively and made us have to adjust. But a lot of the stuff in the paint, I'll rewatch the film, but I thought a lot of it was off drives and miscommunication on some screen coverage rather than people overpowering us in the paint. I didn't think we got beat up there as much.
Lacey obviously had the 2 early fouls in the second half. She controlled the game, brought the ball up the court, the pace, the ball movement, the 3-point shot obviously was big in the second half. What did you see there? And then Lacey, if you can chime in as well with what you saw in the second half.
I can go first if you want me to go first.
Yeah, you want to, Lacey? Go ahead.
I'll go first.
I thought you were talking. I was reluctant. Go ahead, Lacey.
I just thought that I was playing a little more inexperienced, and we talked about turning up defensive intensity, which is why I had a couple of those early fouls. So I knew coming out that I have to set the tone in order to get us going.
Yeah, and that again, big picture was good for us. We're very used to Lacey controlling things, and we certainly run a lot of other people there. But it was the first time for the other people there are sometimes freshmen, and it was the first time with them running it. And again, Daemen recognized that and really did some things to take advantage of it.
Yeah, the combination of the two players sitting on either side of you was great tonight. Aaliyah, you had 19. Lacey, you had finished with 13, 2 highest scores on the team. When you guys were both on the court, the chemistry just seemed to be already there. How much have you guys come along in terms of the chemistry you guys have on the court to where you can stage a comeback in this kind of game early on in the season?
I think it's come a long way, especially because we didn't really know each other, so we had to build that chemistry up. But as we got to know each other, we got to know what each other do, so make reads on each other. And then tonight, that showed that it's gotten better. It was good.
I think playing a lot of basketball, when people play a lot of basketball and then they come together, then it usually clicks pretty well.
Yeah. Coach, I want to ask about late on, you really got the impact from Gabby Robinson, Mackenzie Pettinelli. Gabby had a big block at the end of the game there. Mac had a big 3 when you guys trying to push the lead. How much is that the experience of those guys from what they had last year showing?
Yeah, I would think so. Mac was ready to shoot. Gabby, and the plays before that, Gabby was guarding number 5. Number 5 had been getting downhill and disrupting us, and did a pretty good switch going on to her, and then folks did a good job on their big to keep her out of the paint. So, I thought it was right. They know what we're about, and they delivered. And then you got these guys who've played a lot of basketball and have experience, and they delivered. And in between there, we had Elise made a big layup, and Vo made some big plays. Mal gave us good minutes, so we were able to. The second half looked a little more like the plan here in early season is let the older kids mixing with some younger kids in there. We just had to play a lot of younger kids in the first half, and that was a tough situation for them.
Yeah. You mentioned the drives getting downhill was what kind of hurt you guys defensively in that first half. The speed and the passing of Daemen, I feel like, was just, on another level tonight. What are you going to be looking for defensively in order to kind of shore up those areas?
Yeah, we got to do it as a group. I thought our ball pressure improved, and we were smart with it, but there was too many times where people were dribbling too far to the rim without anybody else there. We were late to our lanes, and we were stagnant in our lanes. And that's, we'll just keep working on that. We'll keep understanding how to guard as a group, and it's not shocking. First game, people are a little nervous. You don't want to make a mistake where you go too much. We'll shore it up.
Yeah. And just lastly, I want to ask you guys about your first experience playing in the Rally Center in front of fans.
It was great. The energy was there. I heard a lot of people in the crowd yelling. It was good.
Yeah, I thought it was a really fun atmosphere. Good environment to play in.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.